Hey guys, how's it going? This is Dave Sebastian, coordinator of mentoring arts programming with Wayside. I am back with you once again to do some more artwork today. Today we're going to be working on Chester Cheetah and another character called Flamin' Hot. I'm building stencils for both of those, and then we're also going to finish our Dracula piece that we were working on Friday, and we're going to put the words "It ain't easy being cheesy" on the RC truck. And that's what we're hoping to accomplish today. Chester is probably going to be a freehand draw, and if we get to that, I'd really like to do that. Hey, it's Maul. Hey, Maul. How you doing?
Hello, where's my bed?
How's school?
Good.
Cool. See you later.
Yeah.
Tell Dylan I said hi. All right, anyway, what were we talking about? Oh, yeah. We're going to work on the RC truck, and I'll show you where we want It Ain't Easy Being Cheesy to go. This is the hood of our RC truck. So we're going to kind of get in there and try to change that. And then actually, that's one of the first things I'm interested in. Does anybody out there have an opinion if we should use handwriting, which is what that is right now, or, like text, computer-created text? I'll show you. Hey, it's the Mac, man.
Where's my pad?
That's here on the floor.
See how I put it on that thing?
Oh, you got the other thing over here, too.
Oh, yeah. Connor literally got a victory with me on that.
Got it?
Oh, yeah.
My kids have no concept what live streaming is. They're just whatever. Come on in. You mind if I stop by? All right, so this is what we're gonna do. Oh, did I move the truck a little bit? I guess I did. All right, we're gonna get in here. Man, my camera is extremely close to my hands, and I have a really hard time using it without getting my hand in front of it. It's very annoying. You know what I'm talking about? All right, anyway. So this is our Ain't Easy Being Cheesy. And then this, let's back up a little bit. Let's see if you guys can see it. So this is, computer generated text. So we could put this here, and it would be slightly smaller, which I don't love. Looks like we could probably almost do it 20% larger. It was a real easy pick, which is cool, as I feel like I spend an eternity picking stencils. So we're going to think about this one and decide what we want to do, if we want to use this, or we could also just work on the one that I have there, which is kind of a good one. You know what I mean? One sec, guys. So we'll have to decide. We can also take this one and really blow it up and do some stuff. I want to put a stencil of the words "Flaming Hot" down each side here in bright yellow. And then up here, we're going to do the Flaming Heart character. Let me show you what he looks like. Just one second. All right, you guys, let's swap over here for a sec. Give me 1 second. Whoa. Okay, so this is my desktop, right? And this is the character Flaming Hot right here. What I've done with this guy is the same as what we've done together a huge number of times. So first thing I did was I took this character and desaturated him. So see, you can see here that this is what the character looks like. He's red and yellow. So all I really needed was the silhouette of the character. And then I'm going to do the stroke, you know, like by hand, and all I wanted really was a silhouette, and then where some of the facial features were going to go using a stencil. So like say it'd be a silhouette of the whole guy, then a stencil of the blacks, and then I would just do the rest. You know what I mean? And the first thing would be we spray the whole piece black, and then we start spraying the individual stencils on top of that. I think it might be interesting. It might be kind of fun. We're going to kind of see what happens. And then here, whoops, here is the Flamin' Hot that we want to use. That's this character's name, but of course it's also Flamin' Hot. So I'm hoping to either find something that looks like this or use this, you know. This isn't too bad. I found a few. I'm using a few of them. So just kind of trying to find something. You know, one of the problems is having enough data to work with it, right? Like if you take a look at, you know, this one, right now we're at 500%, which is a lot, you know, but still, right there we're getting anti-aliasing. So 600. 600 is pretty good. 1600 before it's really blown out. I guess you could say here is like the end of the line, 800. But see, all the way back, you can see that it's relatively low resolution. So the trick to that, right, is of course going in here and finding a really high resolution image, right? And of course to do that, you know, we just go, oops, that one. Where was it? I can't even remember. Let's just go. Right. So then we're in here. We just grab tools. Oops. Hey, what happened there? Okay. That's so weird. Usually, it has a size. Oh, that's right. Yeah, there we go. All right. So you get in here at high res, and it's saying like these guys are dramatically larger, right? So this one is 1011 by 1500. You know, that's pretty good. This one's 15 by 15. So maybe this is the one that we should use, right? So we can say save image to downloads. The only problem is oftentimes in the process of going to our downloads folder, we get something that is not a JPEG. But in this case, we got it. So we can just say open with Photoshop, and there we go. Right? Now we can get close to this guy and see that, wow, this one's going to be good. You know, this one's totally going to work. So even the flame guy looks better. So maybe we'll take a minute just pulling out these pieces because I think it might be important. Whoop. All right. Shouldn't take long. So now we go in with the magic wand tool and grab as much of this outside information as we can. And then we switch to the quick selection tool, go into those same places, and it grabs a much larger piece and leaves us with mostly just our character. Right, and there you go. So now we got just our character, which is perfect. And then we want to use that same tool and do the same method. Oh, wrong one. You just hold shift, click around. Right. I think I clicked one too many. I wanted reds, and now I'm getting blacks. straight up on it. Try to get your shots. Still use this guy. Alright, looks pretty good. Down a little. All right, that looks pretty good. Looks like a choke somewhere. Alright, that looks pretty good. Alright. Of course, we don't have to go crazy. I could definitely draw this guy, but it might be fun to have him look just like on the package. Look. Apparently we're not going to be able to get into that eye so much. Alright, well, that's pretty good. Pretty good. So then we just add a new layer. And we take our paint bucket tool. Dump it in there. All right. All right, so that's the reds. Short a little bit, but his arms don't really have any red on them. Pretty much got pretty much everything that's red. Alright. Just want to check something out real quick. Get rid of that one. That one. Okay. Cut back on some stuff here. Oh. Wrong one. Entirely too much stuff open here. It's another project that I'm working on. This one that we need. So here's the one I was working on already, right? It's a little lower res, I guess. So we shut this off and we're looking at a pretty good black here, right? And then the same deal over here. This is the yellows, right? So we pull the black away. Yellow's pretty subtle, right? And then all we needed was our red layer. And if we jump back to where we just were, right, we already created our red layer. Right? So we want to say, this is a cool, hardly a trick really, but you say duplicate layer, and then you can say, and put it on composition Untitled 10. Right? And then we just go over there to Untitled 10. Right? And we got our little dude here. Clearly he's pretty small. So we're going to have to bring him way up to have him fit in the red that we need. Right? I'm sure there's an easier way to do this. That doesn't look too bad. It's being real touchy. Oh, too far. Alright, looks pretty good. So now we got our red layer, our yellow layer, and our black layer. Alright. Now we just have to save one out, each one out, set them on the plastic, and then we'll go on to the next project. Alright, so we might as well start with our black one, and we do Command Shift S, which is Save As, and this one we're going to call Flamin' Hot. Oh, did I already save this one out? Let's take a look real quick. Cool. So we already did our black and our silhouette. So we're good on those two. So we can switch this guy. We can save this guy out. As, oh. We need that to be different. Call it Flamin' Hot. Let's save that as JPEG. Right, and then we want to shut that one off. Go in with our red. Save that one. Can I just save that as yellow? This one will be red. Alright, and then we jump over here to silhouette, where we already have his silhouette. But now we just have to take a look real quick at what size we want to work with. Okay, so we just got to check our size here. Just got these great engineer rulers, like really cool stuff, you know what I mean? Drafting, you know. So we got a lot of room up here. So we should be fine on our friend, Mr. Flamehead, Mr. Flamin' Hot. So this gives us about 4.5 wide. I want to fit another Chester head there, where he's like spitting fire. So we want to call this something like, maybe like 4.5, you know, and 4.5 it'd probably be. Yeah, so 4.5 by 4.5. That's what we're going to work with. So that's what we're going to send. All right, so we'll check that out. Sorry, guys. All right, so we want to grab this guy. We want to throw this lock. We want to say 4.5. It gives us something pretty close. I mean, 5 tall isn't a problem, right? You know, like that's going to be fine. All right, so pretty much a great size, right? So now we just open the next one, right? Which is, we got Flamin' Head's outline. Now we need, I don't know if it'll let me open it. I guess not. Select all cut. And paste. This one, same thing. 4.5. Alright, so now we bring this guy right here. We're using the Silhouette Cameo and 12 by 12 Michaels brand acetate, which is a really great hard surface for reusable airbrush stencils. I could show you one if I could find one. This is a stencil that I made. Oh, yeah, there we go. This is a stencil that I made of Bride of Frankenstein. Very thin, a lot of tight cuts, and it's holding out, you know, and I've already sprayed it twice. So really good, you know, product and pretty inexpensive. It cost $1 a sheet. 12 by 12 is good though. I was using transparency film, which is practically free. I found it at a flea market, which is slightly lighter, but it's 8.5 by 11. 12 by 12 means that like I'm able to use so many more pieces of it, and it's just really better. You know, like I think it's really better. You know, so now that we got this in here, we just go in and open our next one. Select all, cut, and we go back over to this one or whichever one we were on, and say paste. We want to do the same thing with this one. What we say 4.5. Right. Yep, 4.5, 4.5, 4.5. So then we just line them up and see how many we can fit across, right? This one seems like it could. You know what we'll do is we'll just move these guys around, right? And then we'll go into our friend Trace, right? And we'll trace each one. Whoops. Grab that. Trace. Whoops. I forgot I was going to do that. Nah. Did not undo. But do we have our trace back here? Yes. Alright, so now we got our that one. White. Yellow, I believe. We can always go back and check. Yellow. This is our black. we just do the last one. We just grab them like that. Trace him up. Alright. So now he can be bumped to the side. Now we have everybody's silhouette somewhere close to size. Now we said there was 4.5 that we could work with. This stencil here is now 4. So we can go in here and say 4 wide, right? And that makes them slightly bigger, 4 by 5, which is what, you know, we were saying 4.5 was our height, and whoops. And I believe we can get away with a slightly larger piece because these are just the trace. You know, we lose all this background stuff. I'm ashamed to admit I've been using Silhouette for about 7 years, and I haven't figured out how to import blank, you know, just self-contained images. They always come in with a background. So anyway, we were talking about 4.5. So let's go ahead and make it 4.5 and see how much space it takes up. Well, you know, pretty much what I was thinking. So we want to make sure that it's got at least an inch around it so that we can get it around. Same thing. Right. Now we'd like, that's not going to work. That's way too big. So why are they so much bigger? Little problem. Let's see what happens there. That ain't gonna work either. How did I screw that up? Delete that guy and we'll just go back over here. Copy. These other pieces and they were fine. Definitely. Let's see what happens with that. This guy doesn't look like he's the same size either. God damn it. Always something, you know what I'm talking about, guys. So we want this guy to be 4.5. Okay. There we go. That one fits pretty much fine. Excuse me. Alright, so all we gotta do is figure out why this guy doesn't want to participate. Oh no, not. Let's go with his trace. I don't love the getting around in Silhouette Studio. It's a little bit of a pain. Turn off the click to snap grid. couple of problems over here, stuff that's going to go wrong. That's not good. Check something out here real quick. 4.5. That's weird. And there's no way that's the same size. Gotta take a look here for a sec. It's actually 1, 2, 4.5. I guess the widest point here. All right, that's what we're going with. So let's grab this guy, move him over here so we have room for everybody. All right. These are actually pretty big. Let's see what 4.5 looks like on the ruler. Yeah, that's pretty big. That will actually single-handedly be the largest stencil that I've used on Silhouette Studio so far. But looking at this, if this cuts out all the lines that we just asked it to cut out, all of this information in the middle will fall away. You know what I mean? Like, this is a closed shape right here. So we got a problem with that. We got to erase some stuff so that it'll stay connected like that. We might even want to use something bigger, not that big. Yeah, and that seems a little big. 1. Alright, so see right there. That's all gonna fall out. There. And the problem is his entire face. Like, it's, you know, some of these things will be okay, but it's the outside circle, right? So it's like, you know, if you cut out all of this stuff, you're gonna wind up having something that just doesn't stay, which really sucks because that makes weeding harder. Oh. This is good that it's one big piece with the same problem. looks like we might have broke up a really significant island that was going to leave us in trouble. Alright, well, we're going to have to mess around with this and see what happens. I think it looks okay, though. I think there's at least a possibility we can make it work. Alright. So we just grab our cutting mat, we throw some acetate on it. This is the acetate. Like I said, 12 by 12. It's just a huge difference. Like this project right now, we'd have to use 2 sheets, and they wouldn't all fit. So we'd have to kind of Mickey Mouse it in some way. We'd have to cheat the size of this stencils. What I hated was this idea that I was limited in what I could work on, like how big I could work. It was like everything I was working on was limited to 8 by 10 or 8.5 by 11. And that's not fair. That's like totally not cool. So I put this thing down and then I use a brayer on it, which is a printmaking product, but it works really well. Because as you have these mats for a while, their stickiness kind of goes away. Hold on a sec. Alright. So then we just we stay in here in silhouette. Take a look. Jump over here to send. This is what it's going to cut, telling us, hey, this is what I'm going to cut. Seems good. We kind of forgot to do the same thing down here. So let's jump back to design just for a sec. Alright. So we can just use our eraser a little bit more. Down here. We got the same idea. If it cuts this whole thing out, we're going to lose things like his eyes, this piece, that one. We just need some holes in the outside. I think that'll work. Got a couple of points holding on to everything. And we're going to have to do a little surgery to see if there's anything that we missed, but I think it looks pretty good. Right, so that last one was unnecessary. Alright, so then we go back over here to send, take a look and see this looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. We got it set on Michael's acetate, which is a preset that I've already put there. And this is 2 passes. 2 passes takes a little bit of time, but it definitely cuts better. So we're going to send that because we're going right over to work on the other project. So we got plenty of time. All right. So it does make some noise, and I apologize for that. All right, you guys. So now we're going to start working on our RC truck. Just want to get one thing going here really quick. If I can make it work. Yikes, it's super bright and blown out. Oh, it's too much. Almost there, guys. I don't know why it looks like that. All right, this is weird, you know, that the camera looks like this, but we're gonna be working with the Dracula for a couple of minutes, so it's mostly gonna be the overhead camera, and I want to be able to be looking kind of at you guys so that I can see you and talk to you. So first thing we gotta do is adjust our camera to include Dracula. Turn off our logo. Zoom in a little. Give me one sec here, guys. So I think this came out really cool, and I really like it. I just want to add just a little bit more stuff to it. If I can remember where I put the stencil. One of the problems with stencils all being clear is it is extremely challenging to keep track of them. Hopefully I pulled it off the thing. Yes, there we go. So this is the stencil that I wanted to use. I'm sure you guys can probably not see it. The only thing it has over the rest of what we've already done is just a little bit more definition of his mouth. So all I wanted to do is make sure that you could see his mouth a little bit more than you can there. I mean, like, his mouth is probably the most important part of the whole piece of artwork, you know what I mean? Like, this is Dracula, and he's scary and stuff. So that's what I wanted to do. I'm not really going to do anything with the rest because we've pretty much already done this stuff. No, so I think everything else looks totally fine. So this probably won't take a real long time. And then we'll be able to move on to the next thing. Alright. So I made this kind of all-in-one mask for these projects. The Famous Monsters projects, just because they're all the same, mostly close to the same size. Hard to get it right where I kind of want it to be. There's some subtle differences in shape here. One of the important things is once you get it where you want it, you gotta tape it there. Otherwise the damn fool thing's gonna move on you. You should do a better taping job than I just did. Stuff's always falling off my desk. I don't even know what it is. So it looks like the bottom of this guy is not gonna work. So that's why you tape everything. You know what I mean? Alright. So we do this again and we get it where we want it to be. We bring this guy in right up from the bottom. And then I like to take some of these ratchet bits, just put them around to hold our mask down. They're inexpensive. A lot of us have them laying around. And if you're not ratcheting something, and this is a good use for them. Another thing is a little bit of additional masking. You know, like I said, we're only going to be working on his mouth. So I think we'll mask out everything right here. Even this lower part of his chin, I don't really need. So we could add some of that up too. So all we're going to do is a little tiny bit of white in here. You know what I mean? Alright, let's see if we can back that camera up a little so you guys can see. Maybe tip it a little bit more. There we get it a little closer. Alright, so we're using this, for this job right here, we're going to use the Grex. This is, what the heck is the name of it? It's the Grex XGI. Pretty good. I like working with it, you know. It's a fun device. It does the job. What we're going to use for color is the Old Bone White, which is what we used on everything else. It should be working just fine. Right. This is just a reservoir tank to clean out your airbrush. That one's dermatitis 10, regular white. Where are you, old friend? All right. Alright, so I put 6 drops in there. This is reducer. You know what? I want to do that over. Anybody know what I didn't do there? I didn't shake it. Always want to shake all your paints. Maltao paint, which I use a lot of times, which is marker refills, those are hard to shake because they bubble up a lot, and then it makes it really difficult to get enough out to do anything. You know what I mean? Like you just wind up getting like foam. I'm not sure why that is, but it is tremendously inconvenient. And I hate it. So I just put 6 drops in again. So I put 3 drops of our reducer. We're going to do the gumbo style mixing. I want to probably do that away from your artwork. This one's hard because it doesn't do... find the camera. There we go. It doesn't do, it doesn't have a solid cap. It has this kind of a crown cap. So you can't stop all the air. But we only need a little. Right. So then we just get her going over here on the side. Right. And all we're going to do is give it a real soft hit. Just be enough. Right, let that dry for a second. You can use a little air on it. Dry it up. See what's happening there. Pull off our 1001 pieces of masking. to adjust a little there. Just gotta find my black, which I'm sure I put back in the box. Gosh. Alright, gotta just grab some more paint. That ain't it. Crying out loud. Oops. Don't need any reducer with marker paint because it's already thin enough. All right. Since this is black on black, I'm not so much sweating the masking. Oh, that's not good. Sounds like our silhouette is done. Well, it seems to be working just fine. Just messing with me, I guess. Alright, so all we really need here is a little mist, same as we just did. But this time we want to mist a little black. Oh, what the heck is happening? It's not good. Doesn't need to be bubbling out, especially because we have like practically no paint in here. Oh, is that guy loose? Oh, that's sick. It's as though the front of our airbrush might be just a little bit loose. This is an Iwata tool. A lot of companies come with their own tools, though, or even universal tools. Oh. Oh, that's just this part spinning. there we go. So now one of the hard parts for me, and I don't know if it's true for you guys, is that there's a lot of reflection on this surface here today. In fact, I might just have to... do what I needed to do. Let's see. I think I just had one right here. If you guys have a million stencils like me, you can put thumbtacks in the wall and hang them from it. It's really been working out awesome for me. Just adding a little water, a little bit of white to see if we can get kind of a gray. That looks pretty good. Oh, that sucked. Here's an argument for not leaving the cover off your airbrush. Oh boy. That was not cool. Way too too much black. There we go. Air. Far from perfect. Might read okay from far away. Well, the point of this is to do an experiment, right? Is to try to make it work. And I don't know. Seems like we did okay. Kind of wish we hadn't worked on it more. I liked it a lot yesterday, but I just needed that little bit of line of his mouth. You know, we just had to have a little bit more in there. I forgot I need a little bit of water. You guys hang out for 1 sec with Drac. Sorry about that, guys. I am back with you. All right, let's move on. Pull our Drac out. Put him in the Drac pack with the other guys. I think we'll hold on just one more second with that. Come on, thing. There we go. Whoa, that was a little bit more than I meant. There we go. The great thing about this airbrush is the bowl is big enough for me to stick my fingers in it, which is pretty cool. All right, where's the black we were using? I'm sure you guys can't see it, but I'm using this Mayo stand, like a tattoo artist would use, or a doctor. really, really cool. It's really working out for me. Okay. These Maltao refills are awesome. They're about $6, and you could refill your airbrush. I mean your pen probably 2 times, but it's the perfect viscosity for the airbrush. Works really, really well. Yeah, looks like we got some black. So these are probably the 2 most successful monster paintings that I did over the last 2 weeks. They came out pretty good. You know, like I made some mistakes with Drac. I made some mistakes with Frank, but I think all in all I had a pretty good time. You know, and the bottom line always is to have some fun with it. All right. Cool. So now we're on to the next thing, which is the truck. So now we're going to switch to looking at the truck again. So the question is, do we use the stencil or do we leave our my handwriting and work with that? I am not going to lie and say I honestly have any idea what to do. I'm trying to figure it out right now, you know. Hey, I'm over here now. So let's just take a look at the stencil again, of which we have hundreds. Stencils everywhere. Over here under our sheets of masking. There it is. Masking on this is a problem too, you know what I mean? So, that'd be funny if we put it on backwards. We should put it on backwards like they can see it while they're driving. I don't know, you know, I kind of like the stencil just because it's tight like so much of the rest of the truck, which means we'd have to paint over this, which is not the end of the world because paint likes paint, and this will make the rest of the job easier because it'll give us a coating kind of like gesso, except it's marker paint, which is also sticky, also opaque once you get enough of it on there. Hard to do with one hand. What do you guys think of these shades? These glasses, they're pretty cool, huh? All right. Even though this is, you know, seems kind of thick, it's a pretty thin coat, really. You know? A little bit, there was like some silly engine stickers up top here, and I pulled those off, and I wasn't able to get all of the adhesive off. So that would be the sound of running out of paint. But that came out totally fine, right? So that fit right in there. So what we're going to want to paint over that with is white. Okay. All right, now this is going to take a minute to dry. That's another great thing is marker paint dries real fast. Now the only thing is if you're going to go from black right to white, you got to kind of take it slow, you know, because you'll definitely like make a mess. You know what I mean? So while we're waiting for that to dry real quick, let's pull out our other stencil that we just cut. Take a look at that. Sometimes the machine is flawless, sometimes not. Wow, we cut those really big. Might be all right though, might be fun. All right, so the first one is this big silhouette, which looks like it cut just fine. That is, again, an awesome thing about big stencils. So not going blind trying to pull them, you know. Even though, you know, small areas, stenciling small areas is very powerful because it really makes it seem like a lot of detail. All right, just his fist over here. All right, that's one. Let's pull this guy. There's like a plastic coating over the front of this particular acetate, and I keep forgetting to take it off, which is not great. You know, it's kind of stupid. All right, now we need an exact glue. Should be around here somewhere. There we go. Wonder if we could try to flip it over, see if I can at least get this cover sheet off, which is extremely annoying. I have absolutely no idea why it has this. See, what is that for? Doesn't help anybody. I don't know, maybe it helps hold our pieces together or something. I don't know. Just connecting the dots here, you know, I built some bridges. We got to make sure they're isolated from the rest. Really just open some of these spaces up just so we can, otherwise it's going to be hard to pull the stencil because all the pieces we set aside aren't going to want to come out. I'm not going to work on this for too long. I just wanted to kill a few minutes so that we could let that paint dry. Okay. Damn it. I already pulled out a wrong piece. Love when that happens. Got to be careful. See that's what acetate does. If you don't get a clean cut, it stretches. And that's not what we want, you know? Nobody wants a big stretch. Okay. Alright, looks like our paint's dry there. Sorry you guys, I usually get distracted pulling the next stencil. All right, so we're going to want to hook up our stencil. Which we put over here somewhere. There we go. Go on that curl. I think we're gonna have to spray, and spray. Too bad. No pun intended, but the word ain't right there. I think that gonna have to do it different. What I was thinking. Oh, that looks crooked. That would be totally awesome. Gotta kind of get it in here as tight as we can and try to get it to lay flat. All right. Well, what we got to do here is paint everything white so that the colors can be seen. So we're going to have to edit this guy in a pretty big way, which is really the reason that I made it this way. Almost. Almost. Right, I'm not 100% sure all these pieces are going to want to stay. So we're just going to have to give it a shot. All right, so we're using white. I think we need a little more. Maybe a little bit of reducer too. Whoa. Oops. Oh yeah, whatever. This is a little bit of an off-white. Then we do our gumbo style mix. And get our colors mixed together. Be careful, you can have it jump out like I did on Dracula. You always want the lid on, which I have temporarily misplaced. There it is. All right. All right. So what we're going to do up here is we're going to try to hit this stuff kind of at an angle as much as possible. And I'm wicked wary that it ain't going to work. Go. Let that dry for a sec. Problem this stencil had is some really tiny connections and then some really long ones, like the E, the I, and the E again. That's kind of a lot. And then up here in the A, I needed to make that connection wider. BN looks pretty good. So we're gonna just let that dry for a sec. This is, air, just air. All right, cool. So now we just get this to dry a little bit. Now we're going to switch colors in both airbrushes. First this one. Yikes, man, this water comes out really fast. Gotta find my other water bottle. Somebody stole my water bottle. It's totally messed up. I don't know who would possibly want a tiny water bottle. Really weird. But if you have children, you realize that for some reason they take things that you need. Like in whatever is going to mess with you the most. That's pretty much what they're interested in taking. So, watch out. I'm the king of walking away from artwork and having them spill soda on it and things like that. It's kind of a pain. Just seems to be a little piece of crud in here. There we go. All right. So next color that we're going to use is a yellow. This guy here. This is called Diarylid. I have no idea what that means. Sounds cool though. Hey. Just got paint all over me. Alright, so now we got some yellow in here. It's a little of a dirty yellow with the black mixed in, but I'm kind of okay with that. Little bit of orange. Whoa, another paint container exploding on me. What is going on? They're all mad at me. No doubt that I definitely make a big mess. I haven't been reducing these paints, and it seems to be working out. here we're mixing yellow and orange together because it's kind of a dark, trying to get a gradient. Right. Whoop. What to use next? Some red. White. This one's kind of a brighter yellow. Let's see if we can get this stuff out. Switch over. Okay. Almost there. Man. There is the empty sound. Alright. So now we got our orangey colors out of there. Just drop in a little bit of this sort of, oops. All right, well, that's pretty much the colors that I wanted to use. Thanks. So let's pull our mask off and see what kind of trouble we got into this time. I don't know, I'm nervous. Are you guys nervous? It's kind of scary, really, you know? Like, this is the part that's scary. Mostly scary because I don't want to see it screwed up. I don't want to see it screwed up. Take off all our masking. Oops. Oh, not too bad. Not too bad. Looks pretty cool. I kind of like the funny kind of effect that's going on. I like it. Now we got to work on it with some paint marker to try to chase some of that overspray. But just a little. That ain't good. That yellow is too light for that application. Alright, what are we going to use to draw? Let's see how this guy does. That's not good. It's still a little bit wet. So we gotta kind of give it a sec. It's also kind of difficult to work with, tipped up this much. So I think I'm gonna just tip it back a little. Maybe put it back enough that the wall is holding it. Hope I wasn't just sticking my tongue out. I do that sometimes. Yeah. Wish I had used a smaller marker. Same. I just have to spray that again because I don't like what's happening. It's getting a little punchy. Ooh. yellow. Oh, white. Which one did we put the yellow one? All right, let's try the big reveal again. Push it back a little bit. All right. Tab over here. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Let's dry up a little and see if we can do some of these letters again. Not dry enough yet. Okay. Oops. Moved a little bit. Well, guys, we're pretty much out of time. I thought this went pretty good. You know, it still needs some work, but it's a good start. So why don't you guys come over tomorrow? I'll be still working on it, and we'll be trying to get through it. I will be here on YouTube from 3 to 5. So if anybody's around and they want to come in and hang around, please feel free to do so. The Greenhouse Graphics YouTube channel, even though that's where you are right now, so you probably know where it is, right? So, you know, anyway, that's what's going on. I will be back with you guys tomorrow. Got my cameras everywhere close this time. So why don't you stop